What a time to be alive, right? Now, this is the thing. So, a lot of people are thinking that, like, I still believe that we're going to have a dump. We're going to have to. I think it makes sense to do that. But this is such a crazy time in crypto right now because we're at that precipice. We're at a weird point in time where what crypto will do next is going to shock a lot of people. Anyone who's not familiar with going through a bull run in the past, um, this is going to shock you massively, and we'll get into that as we go through the video. As we know, shortly after making the video yesterday, Bitcoin did drop. I don't think that's the full dip. I think it was kind of a way of suggesting that they're going to get rid of a lot of leverage traders and things like that, and then maybe go again. I mean, at heart, I don't know if it's a scouse in me or what it is, but I'm very much conspiratorial in my outlook about life in general, and I think that comes across in crypto as well. But it is interesting. It is interesting, and what we're seeing now, and I showed you this yesterday, is that on a macro level, is that if probably the best way to describe it is that we're seeing the money come into Bitcoin right now. We're seeing that, right? And then the next phases will be for Ethereum to pick. Now, will this happen in a shorter scale as well as the longer scale of the bull run, right? So at the minute, we're seeing that the Ethereum is starting to make moves. It is spiking towards the upside. If we look at Ethereum, it's 21% from its all-time high. I think that will be achieved kind of fairly shortly. I think it's interesting. Now, you're going to have to deal with a huge amount of FUD, a huge amount of people saying, oh, crypto's dead, different things like that. And every time we get to a point where crypto is like kind of on the precipice where you think it's going to go and then it does the exact opposite, it's interesting because I saw this article, and this is back from the 31st of January. Someone called Derek David publishes, and I think it's interesting. So he says that I've been in crypto for years now. I saw all the highs, the lows, and the memes. Now, again, we're going to touch on memes shortly because I think that's another one that's going to do really, really well in terms of narrative, memes, AI, and gaming. I've worked as designer for 2 crypto startups in 2022 and even became a journalist for Forbes. I've been invited to attend multiple crypto conferences all over the world, including New York, Paris, and Switzerland. Last year, I had the opportunity to speak at an event in Davos during the World Economic Forum. Now, as I said before, there's a conspiratorial element to my belief system. Um, you know, since I was like 16 when 9/11 happened, and even before that when I was younger, Hillsborough and the big cover up regarding that, I always kind of err on the side of I don't trust a lot of people, particularly big governments and things like that. So the same event, there were former Binance CEO CZ, as we know, was also a speaker. It's insane to think the guy is now facing 18 months in prison. 1 minute you listen to him speak about the future of crypto, next minute he's a criminal. Remember, not so long ago, it was Sam Bankman-Fried, before that, Do Kwon, and many more. How can people trust crypto again when the so-called crypto leaders are getting arrested one after another and others simply disappear? The vibe is different today. Charts are flatlining. Emperor's New Clothes is Delulu season for crypto bros. Desperate characters. Isn't it supposed to be recovering by now? Why is crypto still crashing? Now, bearing in mind this was written at the end of January. We're currently in March, where crypto is doing the exact opposite of this. It wasn't the market. It's just a combination of rug pulls, hacks, Ponzi schemes. The crypto world is like an entire criminal syndicate looking to make money off new players. Scams were everywhere. Stealing money and security was a joke. How are people supposed to navigate the landscape with confidence? A couple of months ago, a friend of mine reached out to me asking for advice because his friend got scammed and lost nearly $500,000. That made me think that just when you think that people aren't naive enough to get scammed, they actually fall for it. And I couldn't believe it. Now imagine those who are less technologically savvy. They are the most vulnerable to these crypto scams. Sure, people will fall for scams every day, but that's not exactly a justification on why people should use crypto. You have to show its benefits and why it's a better solution. If it's not 10x better than current solutions, maybe it's not worth it. On the market side, people thought Bitcoin ETFs would be a magic fix, but things didn't go as planned and people got bummed. I don't think they got bummed specifically. I think that would have been a bit harsh. Lining up on Wall Street, getting bummed, doesn't sound like a nice night out, right? Don't get me wrong, I fully believe in Bitcoin. It's one of the only few cryptocurrencies out there I truly believe in. Bitcoin doesn't represent an entire industry. Same goes for blockchain, as it has many applications in text aside from being a backbone for imaginary money, cryptocurrencies. The prices that don't usually represent the status of the market, but in crypto, it's everything. So yeah, a lot of the time we'll see meme coins and different things like that have a far higher market cap than the actual intrinsic value. And I think that's fair to say. We've seen that a lot over the years, but that doesn't tend to matter because it's perceived value. And if someone perceives it to be valued at a certain point, and you can sell it for that perceived value, then no harm done, right? Um, it is interesting though. So there are so many bad players or actors in the game right now. It's just hard for anyone getting involved. It can be toxic, demeaning, and exhausting. People are trying to flex the NFTs they overpaid on back in 2021, like it's cool and all that. Look, mate, as far as I'm concerned, you're just flexing the fact that you're bad at spending your money, and you should probably get a job right now. Let's be honest, crypto can be really intimidating. At this point, those who want crypto to get mass appeal are delusional. Then usability is a nightmare. People preach about Web3 in conferences, but all they do is preach. No one seems to want to walk the walk, and those who do are usually out of the job. Crypto is literally a scary place to be at right now, and nearly impossible for it to return to 2021 levels. So is crypto dead? For now, yes, according to this article, right? I don't agree. There'll be a lot of purging, a lot of cleaning up, and it'll take years, and the future is uncertain. But there is hope. People are building, creating real-world users for blockchains, or uses for blockchains, not just hype. Imagine loans for the unbanked, fraud-free supply chains, NFTs that actually do something cool. So I understand that. So where he's coming from is absolutely spot on, because that's why I genuinely believe that we are in the last. This bull run is going to be the last. It's exciting because you're going to make a shit ton of money. You are. You know, if you're invested in the space right now, and you have been for the last kind of 12 months, 18 months, you will make massive money, provided you sell at the right time. Obviously, there is that. But he is right in terms of, for it to go next level and become a mainstream asset class, which is, it's a weird one because it's ultimately negative to the space. So having the fact that it's so very open, it gives you the opportunity to earn a lot more money. But unfortunately, when things become run like the stock market, which I believe crypto will be after this particular bull run, I think it's going to be very, very small gains, incremental. You could talk in 20, 30 years of investing, like it would be in the stock exchange, in order to kind of live a free and nice life, basically, a life of freedom. Because I think ultimately, money's the thing that we need to get, but it's ultimately to have freedom, right? Freedom is kind of the goal. For me, it certainly is anyway. So I think he's right. So there will be a lot of purging, there will be a lot of cleaning up, and it will take years, and it will take years. I think it'll take until the next bull run. I think next bull run will be run, like I said, very much like the stock exchange. Cryptos needs progress and purpose. It won't be easy. Regulations, tech challenges, and rebuilding trust. But if we focus on building or making crypto useful for everyone, then maybe, just maybe, the next bull run won't be a fleeting dream, but a journey towards a brighter, more equitable future. And I think this particular bull run is the one. So if you've been on the sidelines and things like that, and again, it's not financial advice, but it's very much the time to get involved. If you're not involved now, you probably never will be. And if you are later, then you're going to have a long climb up a hill that's going to take years. And I mean, decades, I think, personally. Interesting as well is this. So this is top assets by market cap. It's interesting. Gold's at the top, obviously. But Bitcoin has now surpassed silver and is in 8th place. During this bull run, I can see Bitcoin quite comfortably sitting in second. Quite comfortably. I don't. It's not going to overtake gold, but I do think that it can sit there quite comfortably in second. Another little bit of information as well is some dude who held Bitcoin for 14 years decided to sell today and nuke Bitcoin. That was yesterday. So just before we'd done the video yesterday, we saw that, or just after we'd done the video, we saw the Bitcoin price drop quite significantly. Again, it's recovered very, very well. I think it was a way of getting out a lot of leverage traders. I think that's probably how it was going. But it appears that a large amount of Bitcoin mined in 2010 was dumped following the all-time high, partially contributing to today's price correction. Bitcoin is moving from old hands to new hands, which is good. You know, it's good. So these guys probably, have now got their generational wealth, their life-changing money. They're happy with that. It's been 14 years. They decided to sell it. and they probably have to work again. They can live their lives peacefully and with that level of freedom. And again, I always reiterate that freedom is so important. Also, I want to show you this video, right? And this is more of a motivational thing, and it's not necessarily linked to cryptocurrency, but if you do understand the terms, because I think that motivation is key in life as much as it is in crypto. So have a quick look at this and see what you think. Let me know in the comments.
When a 60-year-old billionaire was asked how he became one, he said, "Rule number one, if you don't come from a rich family must come from you. Rule number two, forget about the girls and focus on one woman. She'll help you achieve everything. Rule number three, you will never be criticized by someone who is doing more than you. You will only be criticized by someone who is doing less than you. Rule number four, a winner is just a loser who tried one more time. Rule number five, people get really mad when you don't let them use you. Rule number six, never post your achievements. Post stupid stuff and jokes so they'll think you have no future. People hate progress. Rule number seven, when you become lazy, it's disrespectful to those who believe in you. Rule number eight, 6 months of hard work, consistency, focus, and discipline can change your life forever. If you're not following, you're probably never going to see us again. If you are, then congratulations, you're growing every day."
See, I think that was a very interesting video myself. I think it's very interesting. So some important dates that we need to be aware of. The Bitcoin halving, we know, is now only 45 days away. So April 21st is kind of like the estimated time for the Bitcoin halving. That does fluctuate over, day to day. We know that. Another really important thing is this. It's the USA elections. So in 2024, on the 5th of November, bonfire night. In Britain, that's Guy Fawkes Day, or remember the 5th of November. It's kind of like a time where someone tried to blow up Parliament back in, I don't know, was it like the 1700s, 1600s? I don't know. It's a long time ago, but it's interesting. Their dates we need to look out for. This as well, and again, from the kind of conspiratorial side of me, I don't know why my camera's gone off. I do apologize, but BRICS will create payment system based on digital currencies and blockchain. So for some time now, the BRICS grouping have been making efforts to reduce its reliance on the US dollars in settlement. So this is interesting. So I think it's Brazil, Russia, India, China. Is it South Africa? Are the proponents of BRICS? They're grouping to create a payment system based on blockchain. The effort is part of a specific task for this year to increase the role of BRICS into the international monetary system. Now, I believe that they're trying to kind of negate the need for using the US dollar and the petrodollar, which again might be boring to some people, but I think it has a massive impact on the future of finance. So the 5 nations comprising of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa will work on creating a payment system based on blockchain and digital technologies. A report by Russian news agency TASS said, "We believe that creating an independent BRICS payment system is an important goal for the future, which will be based on state-of-the-art tools such as digital technologies and blockchain. The main thing is to make sure it is convenient for governments, common people, and businesses, as well as cost-effective and free of politics." Now, that's going to be the key, isn't it? Free of politics, because most of the time we're kind of run and governed by this political structure. The US dollar and the petrodollar have been the biggest proponents of that for a long period of time, right? So that is interesting. The effort is part of a specific task for this year to increase the role of BRICS in the international monetary system. For some time now, the BRICS grouping has been making efforts to reduce its reliance on the US dollar in settlement, also known as de-dollarization. Work will continue to develop the congregant reserve arrangement, primarily regarding the use of cryptocurrencies or currencies different from the US dollar. Last week, another task report said the Russian finance ministries, the Bank of Russia, and BRICS partners will create the BRICS Bridge multi-sided payment platform in an effort to improve the global monetary system. Also in February, Klaus Knott, the chair of the Financial Stability Board, which keeps an eye on global financial systems, wrote to finance ministers from the group of 20, the G20 countries, that crypto assets, tokenizations, and artificial intelligence remain priorities. So interesting times. Because if this does really get mass adoption, then we could see a very big shift in life in general. Like things won't be the same again. And I think that's important. If we look at the top crypto categories with market cap, we can see that if we go a bit further down, memes are 10. And I expect memes to do very well in the bull run. I'm not over the top on memes. That I do believe there's a space for them. I think we could probably do something with them in the future. GameFi, which is another one I believe will be absolutely huge during a bull run, is at 21, and artificial intelligence is at 26. And those three specifically, along with layer ones, certain layer twos, I think will do absolutely incredible in this bull run. The one thing that I still think is slept on, and it's quite low down. I think, where are we? I think it's very low down. Is the gambling fi? I think that's something that will be. So it's 86th at the minute, and I know there's not massive amount of projects within that, but I think Rollbit and different things like that may do really well. I think it's definitely something to keep an eye on. We're now seeing cat themed coins being a thing as well. So I think what will shock you is that you will see absolutely everything, or near enough, go absolutely parabolic, and it's very close to being at that stage. Whether we see like an alt season now and then full bull, which is possible, it'll be interesting to see how our assets perform in that time. But I think we're getting very close to a potential alt season. If the flow of money goes from Bitcoin into Ethereum, then fills up all the other caps, and then we have a bit of a crash, and then we maybe go again, and then 2025, that big bull run time, we're going to see these things go parabolic. It's also important to not get too greedy. Do not forget to not get too greedy. If your targets are hit, take them, or you're going to regret it for 4 years, like I did back in the 2021 bull run. I haven't built through 2020 and things like that. So it is important to try and learn from the mistakes of others, right? Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please smash the like button. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you all once again. Wherever you're in the world, whatever you're doing, have an amazing day, have an amazing evening. And as always, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.